Hello and welcome back to the anniversary celebration. This is a moment that several have been waiting for. Behind me, in the previous session, you were able to see all the nominated projects in the three. And here is Professor Marco Imperadori. Marco, we can almost hear you. We cannot see you. Here you are. Welcome. And thank you for joining us. Being the jury president of the Active House, not only anniversary awards, but actually also the awards as such. It is a great honor and pleasure to welcome you as one of the other cornerstones of the International Active House Alliance. Welcome, Marco, and over to you to conduct the ceremony.
Thank you, dear Lone. First of all, let me say that I am thankful and grateful to be part of the Alliance. And before it was mentioned that godfather and godmother or mother and fathers of this baby, who now is 10 years old, so is going to in Italy is the medium level school, so after the elementary school. and so it's growing and growing solidly. And I've seen all the nodes of this network, Bas, Alexander, Tad, Guo, Gunther, everybody. So I'm missing somebody now, but Eve. So all friends for me. And above all, I have to say that I'm really learning every day, staying in this alliance, try to create some new nodes. Other university like SUPSI or Sydney or University of Tokyo, try to sprawl as much as possible this serendipity network, because we need to feel together and to act together, like the trees. You know, the trees communicate with the network underground. So I see Active House Alliance, that our roots that are eradicated in different parts of the world where we have been born and where our culture raised, but then they sprawl around. And only doing this, we get enriched by seeing what the other think. And I'm really thankful. Now, after this introduction, I'm really glad to share this, session. And first of all, let me thank and mention all my team before getting to the jury. Now I will go to the jury. I'm very thankful to all my students involved, and above all to Nicole Di Santo, my PhD scholar, who was helping me very much in all the analysis of the project that we submitted to the jury. Let's go to the jury. This slide, you can see the jury was formed in a very, let's say, international way. We had Arianna Bramville, I hope she's connected, from University of Sydney, Francesco Frontini from SUPSI, University of Switzerland, let's say south of Switzerland, Southern University of South Switzerland. Bas Asselaar, you have already heard about him speaking before. From the Netherlands, Alexander Kucheravi, representing Active House Alliance, and from Ukraine, Professor Sonia Hao, who is not here today, I've heard, but who was very active in the jury process, and Sean. I hope Sean is connected. I know Tad couldn't make it, but I hope the other jurors are here, because I would like also to have a couple of words by them. Next. So I asked Nadesh to assist me, or Alberto, to go with the next slide. Okay, so this was the timeline of the jury. We started to analyze all the projects which had to be submitted in the deadline of the 15th of September. Then we had around a couple of weeks or more, 20 days, to analyze the project carefully. And all these projects, as you will see, they were divided in some categories. And then the announcement of the shortlisted project, and then on the 21st October, which is today, we will announce the winner and the award projects. And let's say we will make a tour in some of the projects. Next. Okay, so you see the award categories. We divided into 3 categories. The first was the best design for site projects in the designed buildings category. So building which has been designed, so at the moment with the radar, which we can consider a design radar, okay? Because as you know, for the label, you need to have a final radar tested on an exact building. So you can see 18 projects, and we have selected out 6 for the shortlist, and that we will see soon. Then the second category is the best design for site project for the built buildings category. And here 14 projects from all around the world. We have selected 3 out of 14. And then the overall best of the 10 years, we will announce at the very end who is the winner. The building category only. So we have decided to analyze only the built ones. There were 27 selected among the best in the last, coming from the last juries, etc. And we have decided to concentrate on 4 of them. So overall, you can see quite a lot of projects. A big variation in terms of dimension, in terms of purpose, that show that Active House, Alliance, and specification are matching several levels of the design. So not only housing, as we will see. Next. So here you see, these were compulsory parameters that we checked in all the projects. And all the application must include this. And of course, there should be a radar. So you see the comfort, with a specification on daylight, thermal comfort and ventilation, the energy, specification of energy efficiency parameters, and the use of renewables, environment, so the impact and the use of LCA and this kind of concerns about the material they used, illustration showing the installation of insulation, natural light, natural ventilation, and so on, pictures and sketches, interior, exterior, or real pictures when the building is built, and the radar. Next. So let's go to the first category, Best Design for Site of the Active House Award 2021, Designed Projects. So maybe if they will be built in the future, they can apply again in Rotterdam. So if some of these will be built. Okay, here you see the selected ones with a code, and in black, the one that have been shortlisted. So the project 003, Synapsis CR2, the Villa on the Hillside, the Cohortus building, the Barca building, and the Luho District Xiangjiang School. So you can see, and you can imagine from different parts of the world. Let's start with the first commendation. For the very strong social purpose of the project that shows how Active House can also be applied for social commitment targets. And for this project, if he is connected, I would like to have a comment. Now we can see who is the winner, who is the commended project. I would like to ask Professor Frontini from SUPSI to tell us a little bit if he is connected, or I will comment this. So here you see the location is Cremona, close to the Parco del Morbasco, and the project has a social purpose. You see the designers there, and is a prototype at the moment, but with a financement. It will be built soon. Next. Francesco, are you connected?
Yes, I'm connected. Yes, Marco.
So please, now we can see the second slide. You can tell something about what do you see in this project, because you voted for this.
Yes, I mean the project it's really compacted and well designed by the group, and we really liked the way that both the architecture of the building was really connected to the social aspect of the school. So bringing also from the beginning, from the childhood, the importance of living in a good environment.
Yes. We haven't said, Francesco, maybe that the school is dedicated to people, children, especially in their family, children with heavy brain disease and problems, and so this has a strong social purpose. Sorry,
yes,
Francesco.
Exactly. No, exactly. You are right, Marco. Sorry for that. So it the combination of the two, of the social aspect and architecture, was for us very interesting, together with also the passive strategy to have an enhanced daylighting inside the room, inside the space, so that the children can really enjoy the spaces, and with also really good connection toward the outside. So if they are inside the building, they can always see outside, and they can really enjoy the space. Also, integrating in the greenhouse, in the green of the place.
We can see the next slide, for example. Thanks, Nadej. If you can, what Francesco was underlined. I'm very thankful, Francesco, for this comment. You see the energy strategy is a very hyper-insulated building with a green roof. Next, the recovery of heat, recovery of water. You can see what Francesco was mentioning. Children can play, look outside, so they have a protected environment inside, very cared, with the vision and contact of this park, because it is in the middle of a park in Cremona. Project has been approved and financed by the region of Lombardy Foundation Cariplo. So altogether, we are very proud at Active House Mantra, and they were so happy to have been shortlisted. I can tell you, I've seen on their Instagram, Occhi Azzurri On Loose is the NGO that support this activity. Next. You can see the radar. The radar was quite, solid. So thank you very much. This is the commendation diploma. You can see Synapsis CR2 is signed by Lone and by myself as a president of the jury. Thank you, Francesco, for this comment. Let's go to the second commendation for the clever strategies and a very precise radar given to a single family house. I ask Alexander Kusherabi to comment the commendation for, let's see the project. Is the villa on the hillside, is in Ukraine, Alexander. So would you say something about this, why we as a jury supported this project? Please, go on.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. No, I'd like to add that I know the architect of this house very good, because she participated in my first education in Ukraine in August 2018. So she did a really long way, and I perfectly know the company where she works. And I'm not surprised. I congratulate, of course, my colleagues, but I'm waiting, as Marco said at the beginning, realization. And I hope that we will see this house as implemented building in future in Rotterdam, in our Active House Awards.
You are right, because the real purpose of any architecture is to be built. But I'm really happy to see that what is also an academy, a school, and the big amount of work that the local agency, your one, Gunther, and so on, are doing in your own country and also sprawling around the world, is very active on the real professionals. And we do our job from the academic side with new generation, but new generation are also young architects that they didn't have any opportunity in the university. Still in Italy, not so many are pushing so much about, climate change and about this necessity, as you were mentioning before, the sustainism. So if we want to find out an ism, activism should be our ism, because we should be active in the architectural design, because this is architecture. And I have to say that what is the beauty of this project, Villa on the Hillside, like others, is that, as you can see, they are totally different one from each other, integrating architecture, but also other purpose. So thank you, Alexander, for this comment. This is the radar, very, very solid. And let's hope that this radar will be confirmed. And this is the diploma, which will be given to the Villa on the Hillside as a commendation. Let's go to the next one. The commendation, we decided to give some students commendation because, as I've told you, I have some classes, I teach about active house in every classes, and then my students, they develop this for the graduation or for the project they have submitted. So we decided to give two students commendation. One is for this very nice project of co-individual space for living and studying with an impressive radar and beautiful design. I asked Arianna, I was seeing Arianna connected. Arianna Brambilla is a professor at Sydney University. Long time ago was my student and also my PhD scholar. And now, as she is teaching, thank you, Arianna, to be connected. You look fantastic. Thank you. I leave you the comment of Cohortus. You can see the project in Via Lambruschini, Milano by, you can see Arrigoni, Bear, Carzaniga, and Galbusera. So we are in Milano with this project. So please, Arianna, give some comments to this project that you wanted to support.
Yeah, the jury particularly like not only the design, which I think it's very pleasant, but also the detail of this project that clearly is a student project. So it was all the juries, we were all very impressed by the level of details of this project, and also the let's say social engagement of the project itself, which was a very part, and it's an important part of Active House as well. So it's not just about energy, as we were saying also at the beginning. So that was the main reason of why.
I think it's very important what you say, because here is a mixed use by students, old people, etc., in a peripheral part of the city, close to our university, to my lab is very close here, where the city is transforming. And so it's very important, all our students getting ready to understand Active House principle, etc., making it buildable, are ready to join soon, because they are 50-year students, companies, and bringing these ideas inside this company as a possibility. Because if you don't even have a possibility and you don't know the radar, etc., how can you propose it? So I think that they are our best ambassadors in the offices soon. So thank you very much, Arianna. I think we have a final image. Or this was interior. You can see the next is this is the back, which is more urban, close to existing building. This is the radar, quite impactful. Of course, it is a project, and so they could exploit as much as possible. And here you can see the diploma cohortus project as a commendation. And now let's go to another student commendation. Let's see. Because it was a very different exercise, so we decided at the end to give 2 commendations for students. And this is a beautiful exercise of lightness on Ischia Island. Floating active house can be for sure a possibility in the future. In this case, I have to explain a little bit. The exercise, it was to transform the Villux lab where I am, so you see the skylight is exactly the same, into something else around the world, in a mountain, in a city, or floating. And these 4 students, Elissa, Kamalia, Sharifi, Kakpur and Marelli, Garbusera, they have decided to make a floating house in wood technology, because the idea is to keep the shape of Villux lab but totally change the skins, the layers, the technology. So they decided for a wood technology. And I would ask, because Song is not here, is Sean here? Would you like to say something, Sean, about this project? If Sean is not corrected, again, I ask Alex, because Alexander was supporting this. So Alexander, would you say something about this floating project? Kusharabi.
Sure.
Yeah, do it.
As you remember, during our jury, I highly recommended to have a special prize for such type of houses. So because it's possible to use this typology everywhere, and and solve the problem in different regions of the world. For example, also during the event, during the competition, we see the possibility to implement these structures not only on the sea, for example, but also in the mountains. So I like this topology, and it's a nice active house solution for small module houses.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that you have appreciated this exercise. Let's go and see the other pictures, for example, where you can see that the building was it was like a small bar, a small common place where to stay, gathering, enjoying. Very well designed, also in terms of renders. Now these students are doing their graduation to implement this. So this was the first entry, already with many details, but they are going on. So I'm expecting even better. They would be very happy. The big group part of the team is from Iran. So women from Iran coming to study in Milano. I'm really, really happy to see how they took care to this project in terms of detailing, in terms of active house simulations, and so on. Next, and it will be even more implemented. So the jury has given. I have not voted for the project of my students. I left the jury to choose. They can testify, huh? But I think Barca deserved the commendation. And now, after all this, many compliments to everyone. We are in time. The winner of the category. The category is the best design for site 2021. The design for the articulated strategy of volumes and open spaces, sun, shading, and natural light. The radar shows some weak points that could easily be implemented in the case of future construction. The jury wishes this recommendation for the next future possible labeling. And for this recommendation, now I can see Sean. So I ask Sean to give a comment, and as well to Bas, because I didn't saw Sean, so I was deciding to give this to Bas, but we can skip later to Bas. So Sean, are you there? You want to comment? Let's see who is the winner. The winner is from China. So Guo Qianling, many compliments to Chinese designers. You see, location is in Shenzhen, south of China, tropical region, is a school. So education, very important. So also the educational purpose. And you see the architects there. And I don't know, Sean, do you want to say something about this beautiful, very articulated volumes of the school?
So we seem
Sean,
to
maybe
difficulties with Sean.
Difficulties. Then I ask Bas. Maybe Sean later. I ask Bas, and of course also the way the jury is active, because we actively recommend to work on the radar, isn't it, Bas?
Yes. When we discussed this school building, we were very impressed with how all the different aspects, especially with regards to daylight, but also the incorporation of nature throughout the building, and the whole layout was very much designed around the person itself, as it seemed. So it was a school building, so especially towards sort of the new generation, so to speak.
Exactly.
It was a very, very well executed design, very impressive.
Yes, we can see next pictures with all this green roof, etc. So there were some points to be worked on. You see the impact on the land section, the natural light, and here the sun shading, because the sun is very strong at the tropics, heavy rain. So the whole building seems to accomplish many things, but we can see at the radar, you can see there was still a possibility to improvement in some parts of it, especially this deepness of some parts of the building. Maybe would ask for, zenithal light, natural ventilation in the, let's say, middle season, middle to winter, because you're really using a natural ventilation in climate humid is very difficult. But I really see a lot of potential. So thank you very much. And the final diploma of Loho District School, we can see.
Yeah, and we do have a video for this.
Okay, show it.
Yes. Why?
Thank you very much. Beautiful pictures. And I am very convinced that when children study in such environment, when architecture and also aesthetic and beauty helps them to see a different possibility of architecture, which works for the comfort, climate, environment, and energy, I think they will grow as a better society. So thank you very much. So now let's go to the second category, is the best design for site for built buildings. So now we are getting, more and more solid in the fact that the only architecture that matters is the built one. So no doubt. So let's go for the best for site 2021. Okay. So you can go on, Nadesh, because this is the first slide.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, go on quickly. No problem. I am introducing this by saying that we had several projects, beautiful, from all around the world. I was also impressed that the project came from Thailand. Fantastic. We have now really sprawled all around. I can see a lot of activity also from Japan in the Active House, let's say, site, etc. So people are really taking this. And the fact that it's a free platform, of course, when it gets to a label, you need to submit it to the agencies, local agencies, to be controlled. You have to pay a service. But in general, to leave the tool for free for everybody is important to get in the pace. And also it is proven by studies by GXM, for example, very well done, that the Active House radar sits in the middle of balance of all the other LEED, BREEAM, etc., Casa Clima, whatever you want to calculate. With the radar, you sit exactly as a balance in the middle. So as a design tool, very important. And then as a label, more and more solid. Okay, build projects. Let's see, next slide. We have selected, we had all these contestants. You see, we have selected 3 for the shortlist: the Warm Nest project of Zeuge, the Norfolk Residence, and the IBR Future Complex. And we were very severe in the fact that some people submitted with no radar, etc. So we need really to accomplish the regulation. So the jury was very severe, I have to say. Next, the commendation is for a very elegant project that shows how a nice design can achieve very good performances also with a low budget in extreme climate. And I would like to call again Arianna Brambilla to commend the commendation given to Warm Nest project of Zeuge. We can see from China, in a very interior China, is a region close to Qinghai Prefecture, so Tibet Plateau, very cold. Is again I have lost the picture. So okay, so Arianna, please give us a comment. What the jury, why you were sustaining this project and the jury followed you, please.
Again, it's not just about the architectural outcome, which is clearly very pleasant also in this case, but it's about the sign that we wanted to give. And this is a very good example of how Active House can actually be used as a label, not only for warm climates or, let's say, mild climates where probably it's much easier to build, but also for extreme climates, in this case very cold, and we have seen also some other cases very tropical. So this is really like a good sign that we can actually build beautifully and sustainably also in extreme climates.
Exactly, and a beautiful place, because architecture is for everybody. This will raise up again, it's an educational build, is a common purpose building. And also the fact that, as Gunther Gantiore was showing before, all these analyses on daylight for all around the world, and not only in the middle temperate climate, helps a lot to enhance the mission all around the world. Then, of course, every nation is different. I remember your PhD work, Arianna, was exactly about that. How to target the tool in a different climatic situation. We ended up with a Springer brief book for that. So you have a very strong chapter in that. And I think that the research has helped and is going on, as we have seen also from other side of the Alliance. So thank you very much and many compliments to this project. Let's go on. We see the radar. The radar has a weak point. We can see it now. Definitely that you can see it was declared, so we have appreciated also the honesty to declare and not to make fake radars, because we don't have the time to go inside to the detail. But of course, the other part of the radar is very strong. Next, we come to the second commendation of this category. So this was the diploma. The commendation is for a beautiful small-scale pitcher roof scheme that shows synthetic beauty and efficiency. And for this, I ask again, Alexander, maybe Gunther, if you want, to tell us something about the Norfolk residence. I was very much supporting this because, you know, USA is not so famous to support active house or active house strategy. The use of energy in USA is terrible, pro capita. And I think that, of course, we can claim for China and India to impact less, but we need also to have from us, Europe, and from USA and Canada, most of all, okay? Because we have the technology to do that. There is no discussion about that. So, Alexander, and if also Gunther want to say something, you're welcome.
Yes, Gunther, please join us. And Nadish, please show us next slides, because I like this project very much, because it's very simple, understandable, and full of light. I don't remember the scheme of daylight. But
yes, this picture.
So it's my taste. It's my also style in architecture. For this reason, I like this project, and it's active house. So a really nice and sustainable project.
Yes. I have to say that this is the simplicity, the L scheme, and the contact inside outside. So this takes out a lot of lectures from the past, from the Richard Neutra houses, the pitched roof, like you see this view inside outside that is typical and so beautifully done. And the case study houses, they were different in the impact, but I think that this idea of being simple but in contact with the nature, telling us that we are together. So it's not only people first, it's people and planet first. I think the double P I think the square P is very important. P like the Greek P, it's a very magic number, and this number and ratio is important. And the radar, of course, on the
back really great. But in any case, personally, I recommend to add some roof windows, not for daylighting, but for cross-section natural ventilation.
Yes, you're right. On that case, maybe this could have been a potential that, of course, this pictured roof had inside to balance, because daylight, you can see also from the picture, there's a lot, but the natural ventilation, and everybody knows the claim from Mies van der Rohe, very famous villa, that the claim was that it was so beautiful but sealed. So the Farnsworth, Lady Farnsworth, was claiming that she couldn't cook eggs or other things because of the smell inside. But this is the question, okay? Is architecture only to be seen and photographed or to be lived? So I think I really, really get your point. So thank you very much, Alexander, and many compliments also to Gunther.
Nice example for USA.
Yes, very nice label, and compliments also to Gunther. I don't know if he's still connected, to have done this strong work with you to sprawl the idea around the world. So next. Okay, so we have the winner category, a stunning building, fully integrated with nature and with a very cared radar, big dimension, but with a fine approach. It is again a very, very stunning project, and I ask Professor Frontini, please, Francesco, to give a comment to the IBR Future Complex. Please. Ok, Francesco?
So, hello everyone. Yes, it's really an impressive building located in China, in Shenzhen, in the very south of China. What we really appreciate there is that despite the really incredible dimension of this building, they were really able to combine both active strategy to control daylighting, for example, but also solar control system, and passive strategy to really reduce to the minimum the energy demand of the building. It's also very impressive how they integrate not only renewable energy through photovoltaic, but also green. You can see also from the design before, but also for the next picture, how green is integrated into the facades. So it's really climbing on the facade that make this huge building as like a small village that you can really live there. And also, after 1 year of monitoring, this building took only 20% of the energy it needs from the grid. So meaning that it's almost self-sufficient. Very impressive.
Yes, this is impressive because you see also and I hope that Guo is still connected, Chen Ling, because from China, the lesson that we have, many projects, also last year in the award, from refurbishment to new buildings, with a very strong personality, and they are not at all a copy of anything in the West. They are really making a new trend that is very interesting, because it is very well done on the purposes. And I'm really thankful that the jury were so strongly supporting this project, because we voted, all of us, as a first. Next, or maybe, yes, this is the radar. Of course, building is quite big, but the radar is quite impressive. So
we do have a video. We do have a video.
We have a video.
Yes.
Yes.
I can show.
With pleasure. With pleasure. Boh, era ancora in giro. So thank you. The video was during the construction phase. We can see it was not really ended, but then we have had many images, and the fact that this building is like a new pagoda, like an active house pagoda. You know, in China they have this beautiful traditional pagoda, and now you have seen the city around, sometimes with not such a value, some buildings which were a replica of simple buildings. Now this building sets a different level, I think, with the strategy, with the energy embedded, and so on. So we are really happy to have given the first prize of the category. So let's go for the next, and let's go for the category overall best. I think we can make it in 20 minutes as it was foreseen. And the 10 years, let's say, best, overall best has been a very tough selection, because we have had so many beautiful entries, and already looking at the best selected in the previous jury. So we have worked also in respect of the juries before. But at the very end, we need to select some commendation, and then there is a best. Here you see the contestants. You see quite a quantity of them, that they are visible on the Active House website, so you can see all of them if you like. They have been once awarded or already commended. And here you can see in black the shortlisters: the Family House in Dragomeli, the CIS Copenhagen International School, the Green Solution House, and the Renov Active. So let's go for the first commendation, for a fine and single example, of single-family house, well designed, which is a rich of positive performances and comfort. The winner is the Family House in Dragomeli. We can see it. I would like to ask Lone to tell us something, because she's visited this building, and this was a commendation by the president. So I was the one to select this building, because I think that, okay, we are opening up the discussion around the word big buildings, but at least we started with single family houses, model home, and I think that this building has a lot of quality. So please, Lone, tell us.
Yes. Thank you very much, Marco. Indeed, I went to Slovenia to open the first labeled active house in Slovenia, and it was 2 years ago, even with the presence of the Minister of Environment from Slovenia. So very high profile opening, very impressive house. The level of detail and I think quality of the design is very, very high. It is a very big professional house builder who is working also in Austria, also in Slovenia.
Yes, visible with wood technologies.
Exactly, very good, as I also have seen it in some other places in this part of Europe, where I think they have been underway with building sustainable buildings for several decades. Also like Günther and like yourself, and up here in the north, we have only just started the last 15 years. And it was more...
Let me say, now with this section that we see, we can definitely see as like a flat house doesn't need to have a chimney visible, which can be, if you want to win chimney visible, you show it. But if you don't want, you cannot show it. You can also don't show it. You have a flat roof and the staircase creates a chimney effect. This is very, very clever in the sense that every architecture is free. Sorry to interrupt you.
It's okay. I'm used to it, Marco. It's a very good example, and I think also telling a story in the sense that the house builder has elaborated a lot doing passive houses and taking up the challenge, wanting to be at the front and leading visibly the sustainable developments. And he then, I think, cannot speak on his behalf, but I think what he expressed is he would like to take the next step into human-centric sustainable architecture. And then he went on to do an active house. And that is how we see active house as the next generation or following passive house.
And as you can see, the roof, I recognize it, is an absorbing sound roof, is Clear Neo by Knauf, which is the same that I have above my head here. Because it's also the acoustics performance very important. So how we really have an environment that touches all our senses. We are speaking very much about the senses, the sensors that can allow us to understand the climate inside, outside, but also our senses, our feeling. And this is very important to care all of them.
Great. It's a great project.
So thank you very much, Lone, and I'm happy to have sustained it and pushed it for this commendation, the president commendation. Then let's go for this is the radar, very important, very cared, and this is the diploma, family Dragomeli. Let's go to the next commendation for a very advanced strategy, full of energetic strategy with beautiful plastic aesthetic output. And for this, the commendation goes to CIS Copenhagen International School. And as I would ask Sean, but Sean is not connected or with difficulties. If Sean cannot, Bas, tell us something about the CIS school. Why have we all supported this as a commendation?
This is an award that had been already. Can you hear me? I can't see. Oh yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. This school has won an award, I think, a couple of years ago, and at the time we were already very much impressed by the design itself, also the clever use of photovoltaics in the facade itself. Apparently, the location of the school is very much in the open in the harbor area, and it can be very windy coming there. But actually, it's relatively similar to the other Chinese school project that has won an award today. Very clever use of ventilation, of daylight access. The use of material also indoors, aimed at children, so that the young generation that they can get education in a proper, in a healthy environment, which supports their learning abilities. Very much impressed by the building itself and how they have achieved it at such a location. Yes.
Definitely, and as we can see, the facade is in BIPV, building integrated photovoltaics, where the PV becomes also aesthetically much better than before. And this is also interesting because I always underline that a sustainable building cannot be aesthetically unsustainable. So I am very much against any sustainable energy device that is above the architecture, in facade, in the roof, that doesn't allow us to be happy for the proportion, for the aesthetics. I think that everything should go together, as it has always been in architecture all over the years, all over the centuries. So this is the radar, very impactful. It was awarded in the past, and it has a commendation for this time. So next, the commendation is for a simple house refurbishment. There is an error there, with active house principles, showing how active house can be a profiting strategy in harmony with the new European Bauhaus and Green New Deal targets. The jury has supported very much this project, which is a very simple in a way, but very clever, and shows, especially in Europe, that our oil is the existing stock that we need to improve. And the award, the commendation is given to Renovactive. And I ask Alexander, that with me was very much supporting this project, again, to give a comment on this, why we choose Renovactive. Alexander, if you're still on. Hello, Alexander?
Yes, I'm here. Unfortunately, I didn't visit this house, because it seems to me that I visited all active house in the world from China to Canada. But this project, it seems to me, the project maybe 2017. Yeah.
Yes. Should
like
be.
This project inspired me personally, my practice to pay attention to renovation of single family house, to use this experience for multifamily residential buildings, because it's very easy to take solutions from active house solutions from single family house to other type of buildings. For this reason, I'm not surprised that we have so nice project for like best. Yes, it seems to me 1 year it was the best solution in renovation.
Yes, in renovation. Yes, with this addition of the greenhouse that shows the potential of also expanding the volume by expanding under the roof and outside. So small solution that change a lot. So how a big a small jump can be a big jump, sometimes, even if you don't go on the moon. But it's like that. We don't need to go on the moon because we have the moon there. And the moon is the existing stock. Existing stock is impactive, very much impactive. And we doing small things, entrance, the roof, the extension, we can really turn it into living thing. And if we don't demolish, we save a lot of energy, because demolishing means a lot of energy to do it, and then you have the waste. So the renovation...
Marco, I would like to add that what is the most sustainable house? The house which is not built. So
you are right.
It's the best way to be sustainable.
Yes, so yes. It's like the watt, the power. The first energy renewable source is the negawatt. So the watt you don't use. So that's why also Kurt Emil was speaking about CO2 per square meter here instead of kilowatt per hour per square meter here. So I think we should go for an horizon of energy savings as much as possible, comfort and environmental impact, because not demolishing the stock means that we keep the memory. Of course, it's not always possible, but we should work as a vision in that. So let's go to the first overall winner prize that I will comment directly as a winner of category, as a president of the jury, trying to embody all the juror, thoughts, because we discussed very much about that. For the grand design in terms of comfort, energy, and environmental approach, which is constantly monitored by sensors, and the new the picture was gone, and the new recent expansion that embodying active house principle in continuity. The winner is the 10-year winner is the Green Solution House, the GSH by 3XN, GXN, Kasper Guldager Jensen and his team at that time, and now GXN, 3XN for the extension in Bornholm. We visited this during the conference. It was beautiful. Bornholm was beautiful, and the concept was really strong. And let me say that this project embodies a lot of messages: transformation, new construction, freedom of architecture, and we have Lone there with a prize. Wait a moment, we see some pictures before, some pictures of the building. Let's see the slides. We go to the end of the diploma we give. You see the beautiful rooms that we were attending, where we were attending the conference, the entrance, the BIPV in the roof, the skylights by Norman Foster, designed by Norman Foster on the roof, the entrance, the beauty of light, you see the flyers, the entrance, and the refurbished buildings. I think this was very strong, and also the new extension, ongoing or recently finished, has embodied all these values. Next, maybe we have a next one. Okay, this is the radar, and with the diploma. Show the diploma, please, Nadej, so I can give the stage to Lone and take my icon, because I want to take a picture of this moment. Please do it.
Yes, okay. Thank you very much, Marco, and to the rest of the jury for making this decision. I should underline, I was not part of the jury. I have not been impacting this at all, but it's a great pleasure that it is Green Solution House, which is the winner.
Wow.
And I happen to be able to invite the architect to come on stage.
Wow. What a surprise! What a surprise!
Overall 10 years anniversary award. Congratulations to you and to Trine, the client.
Yes.
There's a small speech.
Yes, thank you so much. Wow, what an honor. I would say that this project, Green Solution House, was actually very much meant as both a learning and a teaching experience for what sustainability could be in the built environment. When we started this project, I think roughly 10 years ago, actually. And in that process of understanding and defining what is sustainability in a house, in a building, Active House and the Active House spiderweb tool was actually a very big tool for us in the design process. And I think it was important in the sense that these frameworks for how to measure sustainability in buildings, they should not be something that you employ after you've designed something. They should be supporting the design process and be easy to use and easy to understand. And I think Active House was a tremendous support in the design process for Green Solution House. So thank you very much for that. What an honor to get this prize. There's a lot of people I should say thank you to. I won't do that because, I mean, as you all know, buildings are teamwork. But I will say, for a special person, the client, Trine Richter, who is, of course, a big supporter of sustainable buildings in Denmark and who was the client for this project. And I have a SMS speech that I will now read from her. It says, "I'm grateful. It has been and is a pleasure and honor to work with Active House. We've learned a lot since Green Solution House 1 in 2015 to Green Solution House 2, which will be finished next week. I'm particularly pleased that together we have achieved a great vision to create a sustainable building that attracts visitors from all around the world, visitors who create growth on Bornholm and thus create jobs for our community. A case that can create inspiration on many levels for other communities in the world." Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let me say, as a president of the jury, many compliments. I visited it. I also visited. I was invited by CEO, the CEO in Lausanne by 3XN, GXN, beautiful building. So many compliments for all what you do around the world. I hope to be able to come also to visit GSH2 when I will come maybe in the spring, again in Bornholm, or in the summer. I would be really glad to see also the extension and the legacy. And again, many compliments for everything that you do as an office. Is very inspiring office. I have your big book here because you sent me, I think Casper sent me at that time when he was in the office. So many compliments for all the culture you do and keeping always aesthetics and plasticity and beauty, which is what architects should do, but with a mission and a vision. And let me quote Jim Morrison at the end. Lone, you like Jim Morrison? I like. Jim Morrison was saying that we have to go beyond the horizons. We need the infinite. And I think we have to go beyond horizons. We always fix horizon, but we need the infinite. And architecture can give us the feeling of infinite.
Thank you very much, Marco. And I would like to just thank one person who could not be here, Kasper Gullager, who was in fact the one starting the project 10 years ago. So the same year as the foundation of the Active House Alliance. That's quite historic.
Yes. Also from me, and also compliments for a very interesting book done by GXN about the comparison of all the labeling. Also, some of my PhD are studying that. Lone knows, one of them, Nicole, who was very much active in this process, will come there. And I would like her to meet the office, come in the office, make other research on GXN, GSH in Bornholm. Could be very interesting for the next steps. So, thank you very much. Lone, I was perfectly in time. 3:20.
Perfect, Marco. Thank you very much.
I have to quit and to rush up in the mountain of Artesella to open a new sculpture. And maybe in the future, why not having an Active House meeting over there? Let's dream about that for the future. Think about that, Lone.
Thank you, Marco, for being jury president and for all your hard work. Have a good trip. Drive safely.
A great pleasure, and a big hug to all the jury and to all of you. Go on, and we have 60 people connected. It's a great success.
Great.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Marco. Bye-bye. Drive safely. And for the rest of you, we will take a short break. I think, Nadesh, is it fair to say we'll see each other back here at 3:30 for the panel debate and the address by Dr. Ray Pentecost?
Yes, the time is 3:40. But yeah.
3:40?
Yeah, 3:40. Yeah.
Okay, 3:40. See you at 3:40.
And you can all join the roundtables if you want to talk to each other. Don't hesitate to connect. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.